It was back in '47, Mr. Thor Heyerdahl launched his expedition on the Balsa fleet from South America to Polynesia, 108 days. It was a quite brave venture, and they ventured out into the unexpected and unknown territory in many ways. No one knew how this was going to function. It functioned quite well. They ended up on the reef in a very nice island. We did also venture out into the unexpected, but the name Kon-Tiki is the Polynesian word for the sun god, and that has protected us, that it has protected the Kon-Tiki expedition. I think the whole journey from 2002 to today has been very remarkable, just in what's happening in the global emerging markets and what's happened with SKAGEN Kon-Tiki. It was never very much in doubt that our philosophy shouldn't work in emerging markets, but that we have had this extreme development. This globalization wave has been quite a huge surprise, I must say, in retrospect. We saw a few signs when it started. Our universe was quite unpopular. It was a lot of undervalued or under-analyzed companies. A few pioneers had, for instance, coined the BRIC countries that came in late 2001. So there was obviously some who saw this possibility. We did only see the companies. But I think taking that into perspective, we feel it's been a great journey. It's difficult to say, really. It has changed a bit. What we earned a lot of from the beginning was what we call geographical arbitrage. Companies had different valuation depending on where they was headquartered or quoted. What I've seen, these differences has disappeared more or less these days. So we have to have different expectations. We have to use more what we call time arbitrage, which means how is consumption patterns or economic development patterns going to happen? How is the companies reacting to governance issues? How is government reacting to governance issues? That sort of thing. It's, I think it's will be maybe a more political process, and some of this extra return we have collected over the years will not be so easily available. I think the fact that we left from a global view, and I think our generalist approach to our universe has been very important. With very typically, this industry has been very specialized. We have counter specialists, we have industry specialists, but I think the strength in our teams in SKAGEN is that we are a generalist and have a global view of things, and I think that makes decision making easier. I think that makes overview more important than very specific knowledge, and it remains to be seen whether that will be the case going forward. But seen from a common sense perspective, we feel it rhymes very nice with that theme as well. It's, I think it's more easy to see pattern repeat itself actually, and which we have some patterns do repeat themselves quite often, but it's also important that you have to be you have to take seriously when things really are changing, as we have seen in the last 10 years in emerging markets. See that this is actually a new thing, this is a new development. The world is very different today from what it was 10 years ago. The sheer size of emerging markets is much bigger. Their importance in the world economy has grown from marginal plus to main driver. And I think it's, for we who have seen a few things like the Cold War and the Berlin Wall coming down, I think it's very important to see that from time to time really drastic changes happen, which as we have seen over the last 10 years, and just accept it as a fact and be flexible when you see things change.